You're watching Fox 40, news that matters.
Beware the binge. In just 3 minutes, we'll be speaking with an expert who's going to tell you how to avoid putting on the extra pounds during the holidays.
Now, this is a warning we hear a lot around this time of year as you get ready to scarf down your holiday feast. Be careful not to overindulge.
It's so hard. Simone is in the newsroom with an expert who can tell us how to avoid putting on the extra pounds during the holidays.
You guys, it is hard, especially when I still have a drawer full of candy corn at my desk. I know you all know I keep it hiding, but I've got Michelle Hastie Thompson. She's a weight loss coach and binge eating expert joining me here today. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, this stat really startled me. I've got to read it. The extra pounds people put on between Halloween and Christmas can take more than 5 months to burn off.
It's not what you want to hear.
Did you hear the what's from the studio? That's incredible. So where do we begin with this? How do we even protect ourselves during this terrible holiday season?
We got to get out of that cycle, right? Because that's the problem, is we're constantly either restricting or we're binging, and it's just flip-flopping between those two things.
Sure. Well, I feel like, so the next natural inclination would be to restrict your calories, right?
Exactly.
What do you think?
That's going to cause you to binge more.
Okay,
Think
bad
about
idea.
it.
Yeah.
What happens when someone says, you can't have that?
Oh, I want it all.
You want it all. Give me more,
Yes.
right? And that's the problem. So people go to restrict, and then it causes them to binge more.
You know, I thought this was interesting too. In the break, we were talking about things like distracted eating, or things that cause people to binge eat. What would you say about that?
Yeah, that's a huge problem, right? Because if you're distracted while you're eating, your brain literally isn't part of the meal experience. And then it's like, did I eat? I don't remember eating. And it really doesn't remember. And if you go meal after meal after meal not paying attention, the brain does not even feel like it ate.
Well, and those calories really add up. So you have the Twix bar here, the half a donut here, and then before you know it, you're at 4,500 calories, right?
Yeah, it happens quick. And the problem is you don't ever feel satisfied because you didn't get the actual eating experience. And that's why you want to keep eating.
Yeah, I thought it was also interesting. You and I were chatting about how you've had experience and you kind of understand how binge eaters work and because you've gone through this yourself, and so that's how you can offer such good advice.
Yeah, I've been there. I think it's hard when people have never had that experience where it's so irrational. Like, at my worst, I was stealing food from my roommates because I didn't buy it for myself.
Sure.
And people don't really realize what that's like if they've never done it.
So you've got a book out. It's called Have Your Cake and Be Happy Too. You have multiple books out, but this is one we're talking about right now. Where can people find it?
Yeah, so you can just go to my website at imdonedieting.com, and it'll give you more information about what we're talking about today and direct you to the book.
Quickly before we go, any tips or tricks that you would give our audience as a parting message?
You know, I know it's hard at the holidays to get overstressed, overworked, and so you want to reach for that food to tie over those emotions. Just sit with the emotions for 5 seconds before you just reach for the food. It really helps.
All right, Michelle Hastie Thompson, thank you so much for being with us to help us keep our binge eating under control. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me.
All right, Adam, that applies to Chroma Kitty and her abuse of treats.
Okay, noted. I will start to cut down on the treats for Chroma Kitty, but when she asks, you know, who am I to say no? That's tough.